Hello, my friends. Today is June the 14th, and this is a psychic reading if this is your birth date. This is a reading that will take approximately 7 to 10 minutes. It's 4 cards. It's a general energy card, a challenge you might face card, an action you can take to stay in balance card, and an outcome or synopsis card. I do psychic readings and I do healing work for over the last 38 years. See my credits. I do internet work as well as I do work in my place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is the general energy card of the year, the Father. And the Father always asks us to reflect upon what we believe how to be a father. You know, we're all a father to something in the sense of fathers traditionally have been the providers, the protectors, the providers, the stabilizers. They bring in the things usually that need to be safeguarded so that the mothers and the children can be more nurtured and secured while the mother works on her more understandings along the emotional levels and the societal levels and the underpinning levels. And the father, can often be someone who is supportive or unsupportive. So we know of fathers who are not very supportive or unavailable or distant or have shut one out or make one try to be in the mold of them and don't give any allowance for the child to be different than the father. So there's that's kind of the energy of what the father represents. Are you giving yourself over to what your father wanted? Are you allowing yourself to be authentic in your own fathership? Are you whether you're a man or a woman, are you giving over to your father's pains and trying to heal them on some level? Are you giving over to not having a father and feeling fatherless and unprotected and rudderless and distant from your own father, your own fathering, your own father, maybe even your own God as quote father? Maybe this is a deep abandonment issue, but on the other side, maybe the father is the highest sense of support and structure and foundation and protection that you have ever had, and you want to mimic that father who can hear you and see you and understand you and promote you in the ways that serve you, not necessarily them, but under the general heading of love and protection and support and nurturance. So the father rests on a whole bunch of different levels. So the particular question I think that comes up for June the 14th people is the sun. And the sun is all about shining your light and living your truth and being authentic and believing that you are, like each one of us, a golden being. And you see that golden being in yourself, and you see it in others, and you see it in the sense of your light and your connection and your truth and your highest sense of spirituality. And you recognize the sun shines on everyone, so you extend that light out to others, you extend that grace out to others. You believe that we all are here to shine our brightest and live our most authentic lives, and trust that we are protected and guided and nurtured by the Father, whatever the Father means to you. And this doesn't have to be a man or a woman. Father is kind of the sense of any strong individual who represented that person or that energy that protected and made a foundation and protected and nurtured and supported the child to grow. And so this is your challenge, to either let yourself be the father that you want to be, or to feel like your father, whatever that father is nurturing you, protecting you, and guiding you. Maybe this is about your connection to someone else who feels like they're abusing you on some level. Maybe this is an abusive father, or maybe this is a vacant father, but more than likely he feels like an abusive father who's trying to tell you, no, you can't believe that way, no, you can't live your life that way, no, you can't give yourself over that way. No, you're not doing this in the right way that's right for you, and but it's their way and it's not necessarily your way, and you're feeling, backed up against a wall and unable to shine, and sometimes it even feels like a hole has been dug and you've been put in the hole and your light has been buried. So there's a challenge of allowing yourself to be authentic and living the dream that you want to dream, and not necessarily cowing to what the Father, quote the Father, the ruler, the container, the Lord, the overlord, the restrictor, the disciplinarian, it's not necessarily what that energy wants from you. So this is the action to take. Badger. Badger is all about understanding aggression. Those big long claws. Badger comes out of their hole snarling and cranky, and you don't mess with Badger, because Badgers are going to fight, and they're big fighters and they're heavy fighters, and they can generally take care of themselves against most critters. Most people don't want those giant razor sharp talons coming at them to shred them apart. So this is the ability to understand how much you want to fight, but you can fight, man. You can certainly fight, and or woman, whoever you are, you can certainly fight and stand up, and you could shred your opponent if you so chose. You could shred that being if you so chose. But the Badger asks, do you really need to use that kind of energy? Can't you be smarter about this? No, being really wants to have to fight, because that might mean that they might be hurt, and then their life might be cut short, because they have to heal. So no being really wants to fight, but they will protect themselves. So this is about you setting good boundaries, protecting yourself, and doing aggressive things that don't shred someone else apart. And what is that for you is going to be your own particular path. Badger medicine is also about earth medicine, and badgers under the earth and pulling roots apart. So badgers are given kind of the Chinese doctor or the herbologist kind of energy, or even the any other alternative medicine kind of bearer can be someone who can help you to understand yourself, and can help you to stay calm in the face of adversity, and can do things for you to give you peace, and strengthen your core, and lift you up, and bring you into your heart centered awareness of things. And I think that ultimately is what the card says. Go find medicine people who can help you. You choose to not shred others apart, but set good boundaries. I mean, you have to set good boundaries, and you have to stand your ground, and you have to be that badger that says, I know I can protect myself if I need to, but I need entirely to stand up for myself, and be the protector of myself. I have to take over the fatherhood of myself, be the protector, be the foundation, and be the support that I need. If I can't find it in other ways, if I can't find it from other people or other energies, I have to do it for myself. But I think in a lot of ways this will teach you that there is support for you. There are others who want you to do your best, and for you to shine your light, because they believe that in you. There's a lot of people that see your light, and trust you, and want you to be a light for them. So this is that place of what alternative medicines do you have to face the situations when you feel like you might be powerless, or you might have to fight for your rights, to be who you are in the world, and to be that creator in the world. So this is the synopsis card, and this card always reminds me of kind of the three levels of consciousness. The earth consciousness, maybe the small child consciousness that comes in and tastes and touches things and gets wounded, and has traumas, but has joys, and starts to understand life in the biggest way. But I often have that small energy inside of us as adults that are still controlling things, and we're still reacting out of that small child's unconscious behaviors, because we don't see them. They're unconscious to us, not unconscious to the small child. But we don't see them, and we're the adult in the middle who's trying to navigate our way in the world. And we're looking out from these eyes, but we're not really necessarily feeling this very large presence of our wounded child inside of ourselves, or our yearning child, or our fatherless child, or our child inside of us that might have been smacked down or locked away, or just kept distance and not felt like they were loved or honored or wanted. Ultimate abandonment. And then there's this highest consciousness being on the top, this in touch with the highest understandings of this is humanity, this is all of us searching for truth and light and self-empowerment, and we have to work through our father issues and our mother issues, the two basic issues of being, so that we can learn how to become ourselves and become truthful and authentic in ourselves, not to deny our parents, but to live our truth and to live our highest goals. So that top little head is that highest goal seeker, that connected to humanitarian visionary, that space that says, keep relaxing, keep being open, keep trusting, keep coming into your consciousness, keep opening yourself to higher belief systems, but also at the same time listen to your child that needs some help and support and some nurture and some foundation. And don't feel like you're abandoned, because the highest consciousness is here to inform you, as well as the lower consciousness is here to inform you, because you need that understanding and wisdom that comes from that child warrior inside of you to help you to navigate your life as well. You can't deny your emotions or your wounds or your pains or your guilts or your shames or your griefs that you haven't processed. You can't deny them. They're there. And that's the unconscious, that's the inner child consciousness that is wounded and needs to be shown. So again, here comes the badger. What kind of medicines would help your inner child to feel safe and supported? What kind of inner medicines would help you to feel connected to your spirit better and your understanding better? Go to your herbologist, go to your acupuncturist, go to whoever, go to yourself, go inward to yourself to hear those messages about who is your father and what did your father, quote, represent to you. Father, quote, the strongest person in your life that really, helped you. Maybe it was your mother, could be your father energy. So never forget that, whoever was the strongest and whoever did those things that the father is generally associated with, the foundation builder, the protector, the supporter, helping one to move ahead through life, the guidance giver. Whoever was that person, maybe that's the questions you need to ask about them, and are those still the attributes you want to do and use in your own life? And if you didn't have that energy, what about the abandonment factor? Have you abandoned yourself because you didn't feel like you had a father that really supported you? So it's learning to not abandon yourself and to learn how to be your own mother and father, and spiritual connection, and connection to child, and connection to earth. Aho, blessed be.